When your power goes out, remember just how inconvenient your life can be. No lights, no refrigeration, no heating or cooling, no electronics. But with a Generac home standby generator, you'll have power when you need it. Our Generac generators automatically provide backup power after sensing a power outage, so your life goes on uninterrupted. Get a free 10-year warranty with the purchase of any air-cooled generator. Call Generac Generators today. Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A, this is Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
So I just figured I would throw that in. So one of our OG folks, Michael Trapman, he found this old school Channel 28 inch promo from like, I don't know, 1950 or something. I mean, it was probably the 70s. But I'm gonna play it again. I mean, it's kind of catchy. I went around and showed our producers this today, and I'm like, you know what? You got all this high-tech stuff and all this AI stuff, and when you really had stuff like this, just listen.
Great, TV 28, WFPS, TV 28.
I mean, I love that. So there, Mary, that was not hokey. How dare you? That was like something from the Family Ties era. You know, like the 80s, early 90s, you know, Full House. Come on, that was good stuff. Yeah, so on Facebook, there's a old Tampa Bay broadcasting group, and they just post all these clips, you know, from 13, because back in 1994, the stations in this area were different affiliations. We were Fox. Fox was, gosh, I think maybe CBS, maybe? I can't remember. And somebody was ABC, but it wasn't us. Maybe, I don't know, I wasn't here. But everybody changed affiliations except for Channel 8. They stayed NBC. So that's how I ended up coming to this area. We had, I was working in Los Angeles, my boss in LA, took a job here as news director, and our Fox station, which is what we were, and we switched affiliation to ABC, and they hired an entire newsroom, and that's how we got here. So Annie's on board. She called it a classic. Exactly. That was classic old school television, and I loved it. Linda, how you doing? Good to see you. Mary, nice to see you as well. As always, lots of folks here. So this played out exactly like I like this show to play out. This is interactive, right? And there are times where it works well, and there's other times where there's drama and there's all sorts of stuff. So a couple days ago, maybe it was last week, Charlotte, who was mentioning, we were talking about looking for some more guests because we've had guests almost every night on the show, which is a good thing because when I have a hurricane to talk about or I have weather to talk about, I can go. You know me, I'll just talk and talk and talk. But when there's no weather going on, which is like there is right now, we got no weather, we've been liking to focus on a lot of community events and things that can get folks involved. So I saw Charlotte was on here and she's like, hey, Dennis, you know, what about the Green Thumb Festival in St. Pete? That's coming up this weekend. And I thought, you know what? Brilliant idea. So I talked to my producer / handler, Jocelyn, who, as you all know, is awesome. And she makes all arrangements and stuff. And by the way, she is going to be on the show very soon. I mean, I know we all like the mystique of Jocelyn, like, you know, but and she's a little shy. But she contacted Lynn from St. Pete Parks and Recreation and had a chance to kind of get an idea of what was going on. So just that quickly, we contacted Lynn, and here she is. Lynn Gordon, how you doing from St. Pete Parks and Recreation? Thank you very much for joining Dennis Phillips Live.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Thrilled that you're here. It is Earth Day today, which I had forgotten, but I was reminded when I came in. And the event that you have coming up this weekend, I guess, kind of ties to the Earth Day theme. Yes, you've got the Green Thumb Festival, and that's going on in St. Pete Saturday and Sunday?
Yes, correct. Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. both days.
So tell us a little bit about what it is. I've got some video here that I'm going to show while you're kind of describing what the event is and what it brings to the area and how folks can get involved.
Sure. It's actually our annual Arbor Day celebration. We are proudly known as part of the Tree City USA designation. So Green Thumb started about 40 years ago now. This is our 40th anniversary this year. And it is a celebration of all things plants. We have about 120 vendors, plant vendors, yard art vendors. We have exhibitors. We have a butterfly tent. We have some environmental departments, some of our office, different departments in the city that deal with sustainability and environmental issues. We have some workshops dealing with environmental things, flowering and planting and insects and drawing butterflies, creating butterfly gardens and things like that. We have kids crafts that are environmentally friendly. We're using recycled materials for those kids crafts. And it's just a celebration of everything that is wonderful about St. Petersburg while bringing in a really diverse group of vendors, plant vendors from all over the state and even some from out of the state who want to come and showcase what they do and love as it relates to plants and to the environment.
So the pictures we're looking at, obviously pet friendly because there are pictures
Yes.
of
Yes.
pets and lots of kids and lots of vendors. You mentioned sustainability, and that has been a real constant theme on our show lately, especially because we're in a drought. And we had an event a couple of weeks ago where there were some folks from UF who were talking about how you can make your lawn and your area more sustainable for drought. So I'm guessing there will be some folks that people can talk to about this as well.
Absolutely. We will have representatives from the city's Office of Sustainability and Resiliency there as well as some folks who can help you analyze your soil. They can help you analyze plants and issues you may be having with the plant. And we'll have folks from the Pinellas County Extension there as well. So they all can speak about sustainability efforts and how we can make our yards and our landscaping more drought tolerant. So we are excited that we can partner with our internal city departments as well as other government partners to help us figure out how we can better tolerate these drought conditions that we're all going through right now.
Now that's interesting. So I've never done this before, but you're saying there's experts there that can do analysis of soil and whatnot.
Yes.
So would you suggest people maybe take a picture of their landscape or their area and then bring some soil in, and then that would give the folks a better idea of kind of what they're thinking?
Absolutely. Yes. It's best. We see people coming in with little bags of soil or a cup of soil that helps them, our experts, take a look and figure out what's going on. And even if you have a plant that is just struggling to survive for whatever reason, they can help you figure out maybe what you need to do differently to help the plant thrive. And I'm sure that's the challenge in the drought conditions that we're in right now. So it's exciting for those of us who don't necessarily have a green thumb that there is help available for us.
How long has this event been going on?
This is our 40th year.
Wow.
We've only taken 1 year off. That was during the pandemic. And so if not for the pandemic, we would be celebrating our 41st year, but we will celebrate our 40th year this year. It started 40 years ago at Boyd Hill Nature Preserve, which is one of our most pristine and beautiful areas of the Parks and Recreation Department in the city. So it started there and it grew so much. We've been at Walter Fuller Park for quite a few years now. And we just love the park. The neighborhood embraces the event every year. And so it's the place to be this weekend for sure.
So I'm also looking at pictures, and you mentioned there's so many vendors there, and I'm looking at some succulents and whatnot. And so where do are the vendors local? I mean, do they come from all around, and how do they take part in the event?
We try to have as many local vendors as possible. We do have a few who travel from out of state, but for the most part, they are going to be local vendors from various parts of the state, some right here in Pinellas County, some from Hillsborough County. I know we have a couple of vendors coming from North Florida around the High Springs area and Williston. Some coming from South Florida. So they're coming from all over the state to be here for this event. They have to simply apply as a returning vendor. And believe it or not, we do have some vendors who have been with us the entire duration of the event, the 40 years, 35 years. So it's become a generational thing where the business has been passed down through the family. And so we take pride in that. We do offer opportunities for new vendors to come in, but those spaces are rather limited because the returning vendors have the priority to come back, and many of them, don't want to give up their spot. So we do have an application process where we welcome the returning vendors, and then if we have space for new vendors, we do offer those up on through an application process as well.
Now, would that be for next year, or would that be for this year?
Yes, that would be for next year. We're all booked up for this year. We'll start accepting new vendor applications probably in early February of next year. They can check out our website, greenthumbfestival.com, towards the end of this year, and we'll have the application dates available for new vendors, and then more information about the event as we roll through the new year. We'll have all of our workshops. We do adult and children workshops. We do, there's a garden flower show taking place inside the Recreation Center. One of our great partners is the Garden Club of St. Petersburg, and they put together a beautiful flower show inside the Recreation Center every year. And so they welcome folks to come in and see the beautiful creations that folks have grown, all sorts of artistic creations. And so there's lots of things to see, lots of things to do. And we're hoping for good weather this weekend so folks can come out. Yeah. We're looking forward to it.
Now, Charlotte did post greenthumbfestival.com, so everything you need to know there. But for the folks who aren't logging in, give us the specifics on the time, on the location, and everything.
Sure. It's at Walter Fuller Park, which is out on the west side of St. Petersburg, past the mall. The hours are 9 to 4, Saturday and Sunday. Parking is available at Azalea Middle School, the Azalea baseball complex. The Azalea baseball complex. And we will have some van shuttles that will transport folks to the festival if they're parking too far away to walk. All of that information is on our website. We're excited to have some food trucks and food vendors there. I think we've got about 12 or 14 food vendors who'll be there, and a kids craft area. And it's exciting because our staff, so many department staff are involved in this. And we did a recycling drive for water bottles and toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls so that kids can come and sit and make a craft maybe before mom and dad hit the flower vendors and the plant vendors. So we're excited that we try to be as sustainable and environmentally friendly as we possibly can.
That's awesome. And I saw in one of the pictures, it looked like there was a butterfly garden.
Yes, yeah, we do have a butterfly tent. You can't go in, but you can stand outside and watch the butterflies. I believe there's about 250 butterflies in there typically. And we have a very devoted volunteer who coordinates that for us and works with our department to get the butterflies and share all the information as folks come in and take a look at the butterfly tent.
Awesome. And again, from when to when?
Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. both days, and we have I think about 100 plant vendors, and then we've got lots of exhibitors. We'll have our staff from Boyd Hill Nature Preserve there. We'll have some aquatic staff there. Our St. Petersburg Library System will be there, and some of our other internal city departments that work with us and are environmental in nature, such as stormwater, water resources, our sanitation department, our City Beautiful Commission, and some other community partners as well.
Well, Lynn, thank you very much for 40 years of success. That is
Yes,
amazing.
thank you.
It's obviously
Thank
doing
you.
well. And I hope you have a great turnout. I'm sure you will. And thank you so much for letting everybody know. I hopefully everybody
Thank
out
you
there
for
watching
having me.
stops by this weekend. I really appreciate it, Lynn. You have a great night.
Thanks so much.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. All right, so that's awesome. So Charlotte, thank you so much for letting us know about that. And otherwise, I would have never known, would have never heard. And that right there is what we try to do on this show. I mean, I've asked y'all so many times, you know, if you have any ideas, any suggestions for things, and that's a perfect example of what we try to do. Because look, we all know from now until mid-June, there's probably not going to be a lot of weather to talk about. We have other things going. So tomorrow night, my buddy, Mike Broussard from Fishhawk area, the Crawfish Festival is coming up. I believe it's this weekend. Don't quote me on it. It's either this weekend or next weekend. I think it's this weekend. That's Bonnie's son. And if y'all have been watching DPO for a while, you know Bonnie, because Bonnie lives in Louisiana. And whenever there's a hurricane coming, we go to our correspondent, Bonnie, in Louisiana, to give us an update. So Michael apparently is going to be bringing in some crawfish tomorrow, maybe some etouffee. So I am thrilled about that because it is a treat night. But we all know treat nights are not crawfish. Treat nights are sweets and desserts. But we will be able to share a little bit of that. He will be in studio tomorrow, at least that's the plan. And like I said, I believe the Crawfish Festival is coming up this weekend, but tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we will be on TV. Tonight, we have women's hockey on the spot. Friday, obviously, we have the Bolts game going on. That was a huge win, huge comeback win for the Bolts last night. They played well. You just kind of had a feeling, even in the third period when it was getting late, you just had a feeling that they were going to find a way to get that tying goal, and they did. And then they just completely dominated the overtime. I think they outshot Montreal 9-0. So, once they got that goal, that equalizer, all of a sudden it just really all worked out really well. Exactly, Anna Maria. That was Bonnie's quote. This ain't my first rodeo. That was when we had a hurricane coming. But in case you missed the beginning of this show, this was, well, obviously Lynn was the highlight of the show, but this also was one of my new favorite bits.
Something great, TV 28, WFTS, TV 28.
That is our new theme song. I'm not interested. Look, we have had our name. It was 28 Tampa Bay News. It was ABC Action News. It is now Tampa Bay 28 News, and I think we should change it to this, whatever the heck that was, was it WFTS 28? Wait a minute. Let's see. I don't remember. Let's listen to it again.
Something great, TV 28. WFTS TV 28.
So there you go, WFTS TV 28. I suggest that's the new name of the station because we can play that. Come on, that is so 80s or even late 70s. I absolutely loved it. So yes, Michael, I mentioned you earlier. I did find the post. I did download the video and I showed it. It was 1985. Was it 1985, Michael? Oh, thank you. I had no idea, but that is awesome. So anyway, like I was saying, tomorrow night we have Michael. Friday, we have the Bolts game, which will be on the spot. You may have heard. So they're going to have a watch. The game's in Montreal. There's going to be a watch party at Armature Works, and that's going on Friday. I don't know who, where, what will be around there, but that's coming up on Friday. And let's see, what else is going on? So starting this Sunday, I'm emceeing an event in Pinellas County, and then lots of Hurricane Expos starting literally every weekend. I think I have a Hurricane Expo through the middle of June. A lot of Hurricane Expos, great information. I'm going to one in Pasco in a week or two, Pinellas, Palm Harbor, Lakeland. There's all these different events coming up. So as we prepare for hurricane season, we'll be talking about it. But I mean, right, Cruise Mike is in the house. This is an OG kind of night. How you doing, Cruise Mike? Long time no chat. You know who's not been around here as much as she used to be for a while? What's up with Bridget? Because Bridget, you know, maybe she's been at an extended, maybe she's been at an extended Toto conference, because we all know that Bridget is a massive Toto is my daughter's drama school that she goes to, Toto concert. And yeah, the drought is just, well, I mean, you know, it isn't just the drought, it's also the fire dangers. I mean, there it is right now. This is a map that we just added today. This is updated daily by Florida Wildlife, and it shows you obviously where the highest risks are. That would be in the orange area. We're actually not showing a purple or a deep red or maroon color today, but this is updated daily. So it's certainly possible the more, yeah, it's, yeah, Toto. Yeah, Jules, Toto. Tota is the name of my daughter's drama conservatory that she belongs to. So, so I get the two confused. All right, anyway, there's a look at the the wildfire dangers. And I mean, you know, guys, we know how this is playing out. We are in a drought. We are going to stay in a drought through the early part of June at least, and we're going to have a lot of fires burning in May. There's just no way around. You're right, Anna Maria. Where is Bozo Bob? Where, you know, we went on TV and, you know, broadcast. I love being on broadcast because I can record the show. I can watch it back. People have found DPL on broadcast that were not here before. They were always on streaming. And it's different in the sense that we have breaks, but I don't know. I love having both mediums. I really do. But it is fun just with just our group as well at times. So there's the drought numbers. They will be updated tomorrow. So we will see if there's any improvements. I don't think there will be. David wants to know when the rainy season begins, and that would be typically in the middle of June. Now, some people argue that it's late May, early June. I would say in our area that is simply not the case. Our area, it's usually mid-June on until mid to late September. So there's a look at live radar. Today, right now, we're in the upper 70s to near 80 along the coast, still 80 in St. Pete, 73 in Bartow and Lakeland, 75 in Riverview and Wesley Chapel. This morning, it was not as chilly as recent mornings, but boy, it was comfortable. I have had a busy day today. So we started my daughter, Ryan. She had her 6th grade school awards today at her school, and we had to be there by 7:45 this morning. And Ryan won an award for advanced science, which shocked us all because Ryan is a smart girl, but science, alas, has never been her favorite. But she's done well, and she won a science award, so we were very proud of her on that. Got straight A's. And so we did that in the morning, and then I immediately went from there to Feeding Tampa Bay because we had an expo at Feeding Tampa Bay. I love the folks at Feeding Tampa Bay. Thomas is awesome. Shannon, they're so great. They're really wonderful people. And we had a really nice expo to talk about, the upcoming hurricane season. Then I came back here and did some training seminars and whatnot, and was talking to Allie. Today's first day without Shay Ryan. If you missed it, Shay has moved on. She's staying in the Bay Area, but she is hanging up her weather hat after, I believe, she said almost 30 years of doing weather, 19 with Scripps, 14 here. And I've been texting her all night and all day, as always, because I'm like, you know what, Shay's my girl. So whether or not she's here or not, I will still be texting her at 3 o'clock in the morning. And she will be ignoring my text, as she usually does as well. As does Jason Adams. Jason Adams, his take is, oh, my phone isn't connected to Wi-Fi, and I never get your text, and he'll respond like 24 hours later. Now, Allie and Greg are always all over the text. Shay admits it. She's like, I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to answer. I'm sleeping. Jason's like, oh, I never got it. Come on. I mean, I don't believe that for a second. Anyway, I digress. Jason was at Feeding Tampa Bay as well today, doing some volunteer work over at the Bistro, which is awesome. And he's been spending a lot of time over there lately as well. So thank you, Annie. I will relay the kind words. Jane, Bonnie as well, Denise. I will relay all the kind words to Ryan. We all just were shocked because they're like, and the Advanced Science Award goes to Ryan Phillips. Like, no, that's a misprint. That can't be right. Anyway, there's a look at lows this morning, anywhere from the upper 50s to lower 60s. Today we hit the upper 70s to low 80s, little bit below average, little bit. Tampa hit 82, 81 Brooksville, 79 Plant City, 83 in St. Pete. Outside right now, 79 degrees, mostly cloudy. The winds are coming down a little bit and the humidity's going up a little bit. That's a good combination. I mean, Kurt, you're right. We are in desperate need of rain, desperate, all caps, need of rain, and we are. But it's just not going to happen. I mean, we're just not going to see any rain. Inland areas, and I'll show you in Futurecast in a second, might luck out, but along and east of I-75 is it. Anywhere west, nothing. 2 degrees below average today. You do the same, Mary. There's a look at the satellite picture. Futurecast kind of shows what we're saying here. Partly cloudy overnight, mixture of clouds and sun tomorrow, but watch what happens around 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock. There's at least the chance of a few showers along the sea breeze. There won't be many, but there could be a few. Always a little concerning if you get a couple of thunderstorms in there. And with that, you can see brush fires forming, especially from bolts from the blue where lightning strikes where it's not raining. It's always a big concern. But other than that, we're in for a dry stretch of weather. Shocker. Right on through next week, highs right back in the mid to upper 80s to lower 90s. Saturday, maybe a few showers inland. Sunday, a little bit better chance, maybe at about a 20% chance. So your forecast tonight, clear to partly cloudy, another beautiful morning. Low temperatures dropping down in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Water temperature in the Gulf, 73. East winds 10 to 15 knots, moderate chop on the bay. The beach looks awesome. Maybe a few more clouds in the afternoon, but still a really nice day. Debbie had 12 drops of rain today. Did you really, Debbie? Where do you live? Because I did not see any rain on radar, like 0 rain. Where did you get 12 drops of rain? I'm curious. And there's the 7-day. 10% chance of a few showers tomorrow and Friday. A little bit better chance on Sunday. And very warm right on through next week. So again, streamers, tomorrow night, we will be talking about crawfish etouffee and where you can take part in the Crawfish Festival this weekend. Again, thank you very much to Lynn Gordon from the Green Thumb Festival this weekend in St. Pete. We're continuing on Facebook for a couple of minutes. Streamers, you're out. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow night. All right, streamers are out. Debbie, I want to know where you had those 12 drops of rain. Let's go back to the 7-day. So I've been binging The Pit. What do you got? Okay, I got a couple of questions for you. In fact, wait a minute. Somebody said, easy dogs, held onto my umbrella at the hot dog stand. Beautiful day, very windy, but a nice day. Yes, it was. Debbie in Riverview, you had 12 drops of rain in Riverview. That's interesting. That's possible, sure. I mean, with the sea breeze getting together. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. Couple things. One, my training thing I did today was with a new thing that we're learning to use at our station. It's called Megaphone. I don't know much about it. I was on the training module, but it allows us to do live polling, trivia questions, contests, and whatnot live on the show. Like, I've been showing you guys this. I mean, slowly but surely, I've been trying to add your comments, and and it's a lot of buttons to press. Like right here, I can go ahead and do this, and boom, watch what happens. I can go ahead and add your comments like this, and there was a question about Cruise Mike, and boom, there it is, asking Cruise Mike how he's doing. So I have the ability to monitor your social comments, and so here's another one. So, and this is kind of cool. I like being able to do this. It's a lot of buttons, and granted, I'll probably get better the more that I do it. Here's another one. Let's see. Wait a minute. This one, I think, or is that the new one? Yeah. And poof, we have Nokomis is in the house. So we have Tom from Nokomis. So Tom from Nokomis, thank you for commenting. And again, it lets me type this on here, whatever your comment is. So I got to check it and proofread it that I'm allowed to. But point is, that's one thing that we're doing. But this new thing is apparently really, did I do something I wasn't supposed to on here? No. This new thing is very interactive, contest stuff. And so that's going to be coming up over probably the next month. And I'm looking forward to that because we've talked about trivia stuff and we've talked about contests, and I think that would be a lot of fun. So anyway, trivia night, Charlotte. See, I'm all about that. I think if we could figure out a platform, and I think I changed what I was going to ask you about, but I'm going to ask, hold on a second. If we can find a platform, because the problem is on TV and on social, it is not the same time. TV happens faster than you'll see it on Facebook. So we need to find a third-party platform that allows the questions to come up and you answer those questions on that third-party platform, and that determines who the winner is. You can't just shout out the answers on comments because you see it at different times. But if we have a third-party platform that we can do it, where I can call up that platform on here, boom, show it, and then the questions, you can go on the website. Even if you don't see it yet on your screen, you can go on the website if you know that we're using that website, which you will in advance, and do it that way. That's kind of something I was going to do. All right, last thing, and then I'm going to go eat my dinner. So I was asking what TV shows we should watch. Somebody suggested I watch Silo. Now, and I did. I just finished the second season of Silo, and now I'm reading the book because I want to know what happened after season 2. Season 3 is coming up, I believe, in July, maybe June. June or July, season 3 is coming up. And it was okay. It was pretty good. I liked Paradise better, but it was pretty good. And I am interested in finding out how it happened, how the silos happened, and everything. So I'm reading that. Where am I on that book, actually? It's called Shift. It's called Shift. And so I'm listening to that audiobook on my way home and into work and whatnot. But I need something else. I need another show. And I mean, I know the usual suspects, you know. I'm finishing The Pit. I will finish The Pit tonight. I've binged The Pit. I will be done with The Pit tonight. So I'm looking for something. I am not queasy, but my wife cannot handle stuff that's gory and doesn't like that kind of stuff. So that took away Peaky Blinders, apparently, because apparently Peaky Blinders is pretty violent and gory, so we can't watch that. So give me some suggestions of some good show. You know, when people have suggested Tom Lasso, I think that's what it's called. I have not watched that yet. I've heard it's good. I don't know why I haven't watched it, but I probably will. But I'm looking for something good. Kahoot. Daniel, I've heard about Kahoot for a platform. I don't know if I'd be allowed to show it on broadcast TV, though. That's the problem. You know, there are things that you're allowed to show and not show without paying royalties and whatnot. So I think that's kind of what might lead to the issue. The Pit is really depressing. The Madison looks like a chick flick show, Susie. Totally does to me. Looks like, now I like rom-coms. I'm a big rom-com fan, I really am. But I'm not a big chick flick fan. And there is a difference, in my opinion. In my opinion, there is a difference. And I think I've had this debate with my family before, too. Like, I like rom-coms, like, I don't know. And the two, okay, so all chick flicks are rom-coms, but not all rom-coms are chick flicks. No, is that backwards? I like rom-coms. I like Notting Hill. I like Pretty Woman. I mean, I like rom-coms. But I would consider, like, The Notebook would be a chick flick, and no go for me. I just don't like that. And it looked to me like The Madison was a chick flick. But we like, so, and it does, you know. So anyway, so I'm still looking. Rick and Morty. I've always watched Rick and Morty. The Pit. Yeah. So I don't want to say depressing. The Pit is really depressing. It's a great show. So my daughter-in-law is an ER doctor in New Orleans. And I asked her, I'm like, how accurate is The Pit in terms of what you see? And her take was, it's very good, but you see so many things that look to happen in a one-night stretch, because that's what The Pit is. It runs the entire season. It's like 24. Remember the show 24, where one season is just a 24-hour stretch? Well, The Pit, one season is a shift, a 12-hour shift. So now Lincoln Lawyer, I've heard about that one too. I have heard about that one, Kathy. I like documentaries, Denise. I'm not familiar with what Sky King is, but I do like documentaries. But anyway, she was telling me that, like, what they do on a daily basis in The Pit, like you go from one to the next, I mean, it's constant. Boom, 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 boom. She goes, sometimes those are things that you might only see once in your career. So the show makes it seem like this is just happening, boom, 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 in one day. And the reality of it is it just doesn't work out that way for the most part. And she worked in a level 1 trauma center as well. So, Deb, how you doing? Good to see you. So Lincoln Lawyer, maybe I have her, and I like law stuff. I do like, so Debbie says it's good. I have not seen, I saw one episode of Will Trent. I thought it was okay, but I have heard good things about Lincoln Lawyer. Yeah, so maybe that might be one to try. We really liked Paradise. Really liked Paradise. Let me tell you, I suggest Paradise highly. The second season I liked better than the first. It was very character driven. And yes, it's kind of like Lost. It has Lost overtones in a sense, but it's still very character driven and well, so was Lost in that matter. I got to get Dr. Beach. You're exactly right, Charlotte. And I met her and her husband at the bow tie ball for Pointer a year or two ago. And I don't think he was from A Few Good Men, Anna Maria. He was from ER. I don't think Noah Wyle was in A Few Good Men. Maybe he is. I don't remember him in that movie, and I've seen that movie a lot. No, Kevin Bacon, Tom Cruise, Jack Nicholson. Don't think so. Landman. Now, I'm not familiar with that, Denise. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the one with Billy Bob Thornton? Maybe? But yeah, you know what? Lincoln Lawyer sounds good. You know what I have also not watched, and I probably should, but I think, like, we watched the first episode, and they had to shoot a horse, and she's like, "No, I don't want to watch this anymore." You know, you guys know, it's with Kevin Costner. It's really popular, and I bet I would like it, but no. No, Noah Wyle was the resident in ER, which is kind of interesting. He was the resident in ER, and he's now the attending in The Pit. Not the same character. It's not the same character, but both times he played doctors, ER doctors. Oh, I don't like London stuff, Charlotte. I don't like British shows. Just don't. Not my thing. And I don't like period dramas either. So not for me. Let's see. The Spy, don't know what that is. Do you know what? Yellowstone, that's right. Yeah, Dick, Yellowstone. I mean, look, I've heard nothing but great things about Yellowstone. But again, in the first episode, they had to shoot a horse, and she's like, nope, not doing it. I should binge that here. The Spy. Now, I like spy stuff. I like thrillers. So you guys are liking, yeah, House is, Michael, I knew you would like House. Well, because he's your avatar. Yeah, my son used to love that show. So you know what? I'll look for The Spy. That might be, now Mary hated Yellowstone, like Studio Yellowstone, but the hubby liked it. Yeah. The Spy is a must-watch, you guys are saying. You know what? Sold. All right. That's what I'm going to watch next. The Spy. And then I'm going to watch the other show. What was the other one that you guys were saying? Not The Paradise. Not Landman. I think that's Billy Bob Thornton, right? I'm scrolling. Lincoln Lawyer. All right, so, okay, it's on Netflix. The Spy is based on a true story. Oh, that's good. Oh, I like that even more. Is it a miniseries or is it a documentary or what? Linda, good night to you too. I'm going to go eat my dinner, actually, and I have to go finish The Pit because I have 2 episodes left. Tomorrow night, NFL Draft. We're not going to be on TV till midnight. Mike will be on here with crawfish etouffee, I hope. They're so good. I went to their seafood festival, crawfish festival rather. So good. If you've never had good crawfish etouffee, you should go to this festival, and we'll have him on tomorrow. And then the Americans, the Americans was something I should have seen as well. Emily, how you doing? Not a documentary. Okay. All right, good. All right, well, that's what I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for The Spy. That is going to be my next one. So you guys have a great night. Tomorrow, Mike's going to be on. Mike Broussard is going to be on here with the Crawfish Festival. Friday, Lightning Hockey, Game 3 in Montreal. And we'll be here, but not on the spot. So we will be on the spot tomorrow. All right. So you guys have a good night. Again, thanks very much to Lynn Gordon from the Green Thumb Festival in St. Pete. That's coming up this weekend. And greenthumbfestival.com, I believe, was the website to check it out. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow night on our next edition of Dennis Phillips Live. See you guys.